Welcome back to the Big Fella Podcast. My name is Noah Tanner, and I will be your host today, like I am always. And today we are going to be talking about how to track your calories when you don't have the information in front of you, when you don't have access to the menu or the nutrition facts, where you just have to guess. Maybe it's a home cooked meal, maybe it's a taco truck that just doesn't have any calories listed. Maybe it is you're going over to Grandma Mimi's house and she's making you lasagna. Okay. This is an inherent part of any weight loss journey, any sort of dieting phase. You're going to encounter this. So today we're going to talk about the best strategies to break that down, make it easier for you to track calories, make it easier for you to sustain a weight loss journey. Because a lot of the time you are not going to know. Like this happens way more often than you think. So what this is going to do is teach you how to best guess. It's going to teach you how to guesstimate and get accurate references to make an informed, educated guess. Because simply put, to really live a sustainable life and make it easier on yourself for the long term, you're never just going to want to track with super hyper micro detail or just pull yourself away from those situations entirely. Like there are some people towards the extremes of dieting, so people in the bodybuilding space, where their advice would include bring the food scale or eat something else, bring meal prep, right? And that's advice meant for bodybuilders. If you don't want to be a bodybuilder, if you're a bigger guy that's just trying to lose some weight and learn this nutrition stuff, then that's what this is here to do. So let's dive in. By the way, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Noah. I've lost 110 pounds. I run the Big Fella brand. That's what this YouTube channel is. If you're a bigger dude who's trying to improve his life and lose some weight, this is where you need to be. Okay, let's dive in. So I got a calorie tracking document from my program up in front of me to give me some reference. I don't know if I'm going to throw it on screen or not. We'll figure it out. We'll see how lazy I'm feeling. But the big thing to kind of pre-preface with this is when you are tracking your calories, the biggest thing you need to make sure you're doing is not over tracking. You don't need to track your carbs and you do not need to track your fat if you are a normal person trying to lose weight. Again, if you are an athlete or a bodybuilder, that is a different advice. But if you are a normal dude that's just trying to be able to see his toes when he looks over his belt, this is all you need to focus on. Calories 1 and protein 2. Once that is established, you realize you'll just get your fats and carbs in. As the day progresses, the fats and carbs you are not going to have any trouble finding. The big thing that you need to focus on is preparing in advance, right? So as you're preparing in advance, know what kind of situations you're going to be walking into. When people get really screwed up with weight loss journeys is when they walk into uncertainty, also unprepared. If you are walking into a party and you have not budgeted to eat extra food at that party, if you have not, because treat your calories like a budget, like it's money. If you haven't either ate beforehand or set aside more calories or knew that there was going to be food present, it's going to be a recipe for disaster. You're going to overeat, which again is not a disaster in the first place. But if it's happening consistently, like right now, it's the holidays. I saw friends yesterday. I'm seeing friends tonight. I'm seeing friends tomorrow. I'm seeing some like family friends on the weekend. Like, so I have a date with Ashley this weekend too. So that's a lot of social eating. That's a lot of uncertainty because it's obviously all going to be centered around food. If I don't have at least a general idea of what I'm going to do, if I don't have a plan going into those situations, how on earth am I actually going to make any progress in the long term? Because those happen all the time, right? Now, maybe you say I live a little bit less of a social life, so I can just know life this. That's great, but does you want your life to be surrounded by food scales? You don't want to be the guy bringing the food scale to Olive Garden, right? You want sustainability. You don't want to have to track calories forever. Also, by the way, if you want to learn how to track your calories and everything that you need to know for losing weight in a sustainable way to lose 100 pounds and keep it off, there's a link in the description for a free 25-day email course. Go check it out. It's designed for bigger dudes trying to lose some weight and improve their lives and improve their habits. Maybe just start liking themselves, okay? So let's talk about what this preparation looks like. This preparation looks like looking at the menu online beforehand if you're walking into a restaurant, or just giving yourself a budget. This is probably the biggest piece of advice. I'm going to dive into that in a second. And then also front loading your protein. If you can eat more protein earlier on in the day, then you know whatever uncertainty you walk into later, at least you hit close enough to your protein goal. At least you got a jump start on your protein goal, right? If you can look online the menu beforehand, that's pretty self-explanatory. Look for what you want to eat. Look at what calories you have budgeted in for. It kind of takes the pizzazz out of eating out a little bit if you do it too often, so be careful with that. But it is an effective strategy. And then also giving yourself a ballpark budget for going out, right? That's the big one. Make a calorie budget. If when I was in a fat loss phase most recently, when I went from peak bulk, I was about 250 pounds, and I cut down to probably 215. And I was at 2200 towards the end of that dieting phase. I wear my hat and I got a fuzzy on my head. There we go. Let's say my calories were 2300 in this scenario, and I'm going out to eat with some friends. I'm out to eat with some friends, and we're at this restaurant. I'm going to be looking at the menu for foods within 1,000 calories to maybe 1,200 calories if that's what the budget I want to make it, right? Because I know I'll be able to find something for at least 1,000 calories that isn't like boiled chicken and broccoli, but I'm also still staying within my guidelines within reason. Still be able to enjoy the event, enjoy the event, but have something lined up, right? So if my calories are 2,300 daily and I want to budget 1,000, okay, cool. That means I have 1,300 calories for the rest of the day. That means combined, my breakfast and my lunch need to be less than 1,300 calories in total, right? And if I can bump my protein upward, it's going to end up being pretty easy. If I can go for leaner proteins like Greek yogurt, eggs, chicken breast, steak, pork tenderloin, fish, tilapia, tilapia, cod, or salmon, a bunch of other trout's great too, swordfish if you're feeling bougie. Then it's going to be pretty easy. You can make a pretty solid meal out of 600 calories. You can do a lot with that. And let's say you only eat twice a day. That's kind of what the pattern I'm running recently, and it's been working really well for me. If you do twice a day, good Lord. I'm out of words. I ran out of words today. I've spoken too much. If you eat twice a day, that's 1,300 calorie meal, and then you go out to eat. Like 1,300 calories in a meal is massive. So you could then maybe say, all right, I'll have 1,000 calorie meal at home, take that extra 300 and use it as my extra budget for maybe getting a drink or just ordering something that's 1,300 calories. There's a lot of options, but budgeting ahead of time is such a really good way. It's just such a really good way. Wow, no, that's okay. Anyway, let's talk about what to do when you've already eaten something and you don't know how to track it. So number one, ask yourself, like, let me slow down. Let's first put ourselves in a scenario here. Let's say you are Grandma Mimi. I bring up Grandma Mimi on my client calls all the time. So if Grandma Mimi is having a family reunion and you go and she makes lasagna and you have a slice of lasagna, what do I track that as? I don't know. I already ate it. So like, what should I do? Like, I can't do any scouting beforehand. It's home cooked. Ask yourself, one, can you trust your judgment? Have you tracked something like this previously in the past? Maybe you go to a restaurant and have pasta dish beforehand not too long ago that could be comparable, right? Number two, do a quick search. Get on your calorie tracking app. I recommend Lose It usually. I'm not sponsored. Lose It, MyFitnessPal, or Chronometer is pretty good. My Net Diary is also pretty good. There's quite a few of them out there now. Go onto your calorie tracking app and search for the food and just describe it as accurately as you can. So I'd say one large portion homemade lasagna, something along those lines, right? And I would see what comes up and I would pay attention to the serving sizes. And I would just make an educated guess based off of what I could see with the serving size. Because, I mean, unless you know how many grams of lasagna you ate, which not many people are going to do that, just say it's one large single serving, right? Use common sense. This is where common sense comes in. Just don't be stupid and see, 2 tablespoons of lasagna, that's the lowest calories. That's what I'm going to track it as. You know you're going to be wrong. Stop it, right? So look at the 3 closest results that look serving size-wise. If you know the serving, then clearly go by the serving size. And take an average of those top 3 results. So let's say the top results that sound most like what I'm having, it's 900, 700, and 800. Cool. I'll track it as 800 then and call it good. That's an average of the top results that I've gotten. And we can just consider this an average lasagna. Not like maybe she was pouring like tons of extra olive oil in there for some reason. Then you might be cooked on that one. But other than that, you're going to be in a good enough position. Is Grandma Mimi's lasagna exactly 800 calories? No, probably not. But it's close enough, and it's going to get you into the habit of repeated educated guesses when you get into situations like this, right? Because this will happen. Trying to say it's not going to happen is kind of ridiculous, right? And I would choose to rather just know how to prepare for stuff like this and know how to track it properly than try to take it out of my life at all. Like if I'm not going to take it out of my life as much as I can prevent it, right? I've been around dieting and weight loss for 5 years now. And I know how to fit the fun stuff in while also training for a marathon, while also lifting 3 to 4 times per week, right? And it's something that you have to have in mind too. You have to have the long-term goal in mind because sure, there is a higher likelihood that you will lose the weight sharper and more accurately and by the book where it's like you're gonna see the results of the actual fat loss probably a little quicker if you were to start bringing the food scale everywhere. But you're only gonna maintain it for about 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. That lifestyle is not sustainable. So if you can lose the weight, how you want to keep it off, that's what I would recommend. All right. Follow the 80-20 rule, 80% food that you need, 20% food that you want. Use that as a guiding light as to how often this should happen. Okay. That's pretty much everything I had. This was a video that I planted a seed, like the idea planted into my head because I was talking to a ton of clients this past week, and that was what a lot of them were struggling with. So I wanted to kind of refresh on some of my favorite strategies to track accurately with a best guess estimation. If you have any other weight loss related questions, like I said, I am a full-time weight loss coach. I have lost 110 pounds, and that's kind of what this channel has come from if you are new here. So if you are, subscribe, like, notification bell. Drop any questions you have in the comments. Again, go check out that 25-day free email course in the bio, top link, and all my other links are down there as well. I hope you have a phenomenal day. If you're watching this, happy Thanksgiving. It's almost Thanksgiving. It's in the great year of 11/25/25. And yeah, I hope you have a phenomenal day. Keep it simple, big fella.